Hey. Sup? How you guys doing? So, it's Arbanaka, and hey, I'm here for another one. So, this uh this podcast is about it's more like a response to a fellow YouTuber named Omega Courtney, which I'm supposed to do a live stream with her later on this week. So, you guys stay tuned for that one. It's coming up on Wednesday, I believe. Anyways, now, um, a high value bachelor's versus low value bachelor. Although this wasn't the conversation, which I will lead up to what we were talking about, what we were discussing. But first, I want to talk about a high value versus low value bachelors. And we first need to address what creates value in someone, right? So, value, and I would say, is it depends on the person who actually, there's two ways I believe value is, and that is more of it's a balance. You first have to see value in yourself, and then your ability to display that value, and then others would also place value upon you. So therefore, say for example, right, a prostitute, her value upon herself is to get something in exchange, financial exchange for her service, right? Cash, whatever that may be. However, not everyone would actually see the value in her choice. So you're gonna have those who actually see value in what she does, and then therefore they would actually get her service. However, there's a lot of these individuals will not be able to see value on women that are not prostitutes. Right? That's just an example. Now, a lot of guys on my last video, they were actually in uproar, in a frenzy when they come about the video that I produced criticizing MGTOW, why many people view MGTOW as a joke. But see, uh, things like all philosophy, such as MGTOW or the Red Pill movement and all these things, they were there to teach guys how to actually create value within themselves. However, a lot of them actually failed to do so. And by that failure, they actually now remain in the anger stage. They remain in the rage, which got them attracted to the movement in the first place. So now instead of actually create value to which your presence or your absence would actually be missed, versus now you still lack the value to which other can see in you. And that remain a source of frustration for you, and to which now you're stuck at it. So when it comes to, let's say, high value bachelors versus low value bachelors, right? I mean, even the MGTOW themselves, in a way, they still have certain level of value. They are still useful. Case in point. Um, in this title right now, I just put MGTOW. Why? Because I know that there's a lot of individual that will be up in their feelings, and they would actually come through with these messages, comments, troll, whatever the case may be, in a way. So then that boosts up the algorithm, and I get more views, and then they are being used with or without their consent. So those who lack the those who lack the discipline, right? They will not be able to ignore any sort of criticism, and therefore they would react, which gives me control over their actions. Now, that is displaying low value. But now let's go back to, okay, high value versus low value bachelors. So we were talking about let me read the messages that you actually you put out earlier, which actually kind of sparked this conversation. Hold on a second. All right. So yeah, as you can see, there was like a lot of them. So to all my trolls out there, I want to thank you for actually making this video possible. So you saw it as me trolling you. That was me giving a constructive criticism. However, many of you guys did not see it that way. And if it happens to hurt your feeling, so be it. It happens. But however, thank you for the views and thank you for all the messages you left me and as well as the thumb down. It's much appreciated. That means I touched a nerve. But there are actually some few gems in there which I actually found quite interesting. But let's get to the comment Courtney left me. Courtney, where are you? All right, here you are. Okay, boom. All right, so Courtney said, "This is right on, and I agree with you in regard to Boogie." Which and during the video I mentioned C Boogie as well as Jada Black. These two individuals who truly had gone their own way, and therefore they were they were the one creating the action instead of them reacting to people's criticism. They build their platform, they create value within themselves, which I think they already had value, but they just were able to display that value to the public, to which add on to, I guess, their portfolio. If they were like a stock, then that's how it would be. It's like taking a company public, and people get to evaluate you and find out, see how how you worth based on the content you're producing, based on your intelligence, based on how you handle pressure, criticism, all that sort. Right. But anyway, so Courtney said, this is so right on. And I agree with you regarding to C Boogie. I definitely thought he was a balanced approach at first, but the end still the same, no relationship promotion. And you're absolutely right. The women there are there because he's hot and smooth. They want a relationship. I literally just I literally just unsub yesterday. Now, C Boogie is pretty cool, man. I like his content. But I replied to her. I said, I think that he's an interesting dude. Whether or not he wants a relationship, I don't think that's an issue. I like the fact that he can articulate his perspective on a constructive way, which is neither bashful nor hateful. In a slick way, if a woman failed to secure a relationship with him, they don't blame him. They just know that some males are unattainable and simply content with the fraction of him they were able to have. Um, that's the type of MGTOW that has my respect. But as for most of these self-proclaimed MGTOW, they lack the understanding of how to create value in themselves, which deepens their frustration when their absence are not noticeable. That's why they seek confrontation rather than letting confrontation come to them. Without waving the flag of the movement, no one would care who they are. Being invisible is their biggest fear. And so then Omega reply to Che. However, the reality that he doesn't classify himself as MGTOW does indicate some deception. I liken it to a pro-bachelor lifestyle marriage theorist. Oh, wait. I liken it to a pro-bachelor lifestyle theorist. It's an oxymoron reality. Someone who is clearly engaged, all demographic, all the while never committed to a solid theory is misleading, but yes, skillful. Um, so as far as misleading, I don't think C Boogie is misleading or those like him. Can a high value bachelor be misleading? Yes. But the way I think I see him operate or guys like him, because I do know guys like him personally and stuff. And it's this is the interesting part. Now, by creating value, by understanding the dating market, some men can choose not to committed not to be committed to any sort of relationship, and some men choose to. However, the ones that are you see that are the most hateful, the most bashful, these are the ones that really have no choice. So then it's because it's not about sex. It's not about being in your ability to actually get sex from a woman. Because that's the case. That's why a lot of these guys who pay for prostitution would be, happy, would be happy go lucky because they get what they want. However, a lot of them seems to uh, still be bitter about the fact that women don't find them attractive, right? From a long term potential partner. Now, the high value bachelor are the ones that women are not seeking them, not just from a sexual perspective, although that can be the case, but as well as a long potential partner. So the reason why a lot of these guys don't want to commit or don't feel the need to commit is there is a certain level of comfort when you are unattainable. It's like it gives you it gives you a bigger level of control, which it put it like this, right? Let's say that this guy is like a company, right? A really good company, and these women, they want to work for that company or they want to be part of that company. So then they would say become an intern. They would volunteer their services, be like, hey, I want to be around you. I think you're a cool guy, blah, blah, blah. You know, but it's like these are just attempts to get within his sphere, within the guy's circle, right? So now the guy might make it clear from the start, hey, listen, I'm not looking for anybody. I don't want any type of relationship, blah, blah, blah. Right? And when a woman is have a crush on a guy or really like a guy or something, a lot of times she would make up stories in her head as to try to overanalyze what the guy is saying versus what she believes the guy is saying. So if a guy said that, well, I'm not looking for a relationship right now, she might translate it as in like, well, I'm just looking for the right type. So I might be the one. Right? So then now imagine what do both parties get out of the equation? So the sexual connotation, yeah. Some okay, whether you get sex or not, most guys don't even matter. They don't care about that. So for the woman, she get that mental stimulation, the mental and emotional stimulation when hanging around with a guy that they deem to be high value. So that charm can be quite addictive. And the reason why they're seeking out a relationship, or better yet, so then once they know that they can actually get that mental and physical stimulation as well as spiritual sometimes, they were able to feel like they can drag their guard down. So then what they're trying to do now is they are now going out of their way in order to establish value in themselves, prove to the guy that they are worth taking a chance on. Which is, let's say that you volunteer at a place, you try to work for a company, and then you volunteer in that company, and then you create your best work. You do a lot of things in that internship to show the company that you are an asset. So then if the company then hire you, then you are now in a position to renegotiate the previous term. So then a lot of these women, when they try to show how much of an asset they are, whether it's by cooking the guy some food, they might what you call it, yeah, cook him some food. They call him all the time. They might do certain things in order to secure the relationship, right? And because they are now competing with other women that wants to be with that guy's presence, actually want to have all his energy for themselves. However, now when let's say a high value bachelor or a guy like let's say Steve, right? So I kind of see these type of individual It's like when you're looking at a painting, that style of an impressionist painting, like a Monet or something. Those type of painting where it's like a lot of dabbing. Oh, matter of fact, I'm gonna put in a painting style, which I'm talking about, impressionism. Impressionism. All right. So, all right. So let's say you get an impressionistic painting, right? Something like that. So you get that type of painting, and the reason why these guys they portray that they put on that distance is because they say, okay, a painting like this from afar, it looks perfect. It looks awesome. It looks amazing. However, as you get closer to the painting, it starts to all the details that you were able to see from the far. As you get closer, you start seeing a lot of smudge. You start seeing like just paint. So it is these type of imperfection that okay, it is this type of imperfection that make men vulnerable. So by having the ability to keep a woman at a distance that finds you attractive, but you're able to keep her at a distance. So then the longer you can able to maintain that attraction of you, because they are dealing of an image of you, not the imperfection of you. And I get it. I get it because this is why over time, when the woman can't seem to get any closer than you allow her to, then that's when she just, walk away. Like, you know what? I think he's right. He's not looking for any type of relationship, but I don't feel like wasting, a whole bunch of time. Let's move on. So then as the female move on, I mean, and the thing is like, she's not going to hold any grudges against him because he had let it be known from the start that he's not looking for him. And if the woman, she shoot her shot, it didn't work out, she just moved on. So now, is this would you consider that as misleading? No, I don't consider that misleading. Misleading would have been if you let the woman believe that, hey, if you play your card right, you might be the one. This is where I think the misleading would occur because you still have certain bachelors where um high value women are attracted to, and you have on one end a guy is totally honest. Be like, hey, I'm not looking for anything right now. Don't even waste your time. As a matter of fact, if you find another guy that you like, go for it. I'm not the one. But that attraction comes from the fact that the guy is not attainable. He's not available. And people are attracted to things that they cannot get. Right. And then you also have the other type of bachelor, even though high value, he will still make it believe that, well, you know what? This is what I'm looking for in a woman. I want a woman to be able to cook, clean, do this, do that, blah, 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 have a whole list of laundry. And then now the woman that finds him attractive would try to mold herself into that list. And then, whole and behold, she still wasn't able to secure the relationship. And that's when that is the difference between a woman that gets angry because she failed at it versus a woman who just she's disappointed, but she knows that, hey, I can't change him. And then they moved on away from the potential relationship without any sort of bitterness. That's the difference. And now this is the thing I think women should watch out for. When they find a guy that they are fascinated with, and then they were not able to secure that relationship, whatever. So then the danger that comes with that is they could probably stumble upon another man that they also like, right? That are, great potential, good men, whatever the case may be. However, they are still trying to compare him with the guy that they couldn't. And even though they might be in a good relationship, they continuously chip away at the guy's personality in order to try to shape him into the guy that they had a crush on, the guy that they couldn't obtain in a long-term prospect. And this is why a lot of time it becomes the source of these women's unhappiness, because you are getting with someone, you feel like you are settling instead of actually getting with the person, right? Now, when it comes to the guys, the reason why a lot of these bachelors they keep women away is because there is this lack of trust. Right? Even though they might, okay, there's a difference between fear and caution. I always advise people always be caution of women. Right? It's not just so the red pill philosophy has a lot of its use, right? And the reason why I don't put a guy like C Boogie in the same bracket as the MGTOW of today is because he's still teaching men how to create value within themselves rather than bitch about the fact that other people can. Here's the difference. So MGTOW of today teaches men how to be just complain about their situation. Guys like C Boogie teaches men how to do something about their situation, whether it's um, dress better, whether it's having a better mental like having a better mental growth, spiritual growth, things of that nature. However, he cannot teach you how to be in a relationship. And I like the fact that he's not teaching people how to be in a relationship because we already have too many people um, that are so-called relationship coach, but they never really been in a relationship long term. And when it comes to relationship, that is everything seems to be on a personal basis. Because the problem that might occur in a 3 months old relationship will be totally different than the type of problems that might come across in a 1 year old relationship. And also going to be different than the problems that might occur in a 5 year old relationship and a 10 year old relationship and vice versa. Because in each level of that relationship, it becomes like a renegotiation process, right? Because a lot of guys will complain like, well, when I first got with her, she was this way, but then everything changed. She did this, she did that. Because within that renegotiation process, you did not state what you expect out of her, while she explained, or slowly but surely, she were able to find a way to expect certain things out of you, right? So a 3 month old relationship, the girlfriend might not act as possessive as if when you are in a 3 years relationship, right? So the same way that what you expect from her when she was just a girlfriend, you might have to expect more out of her when she's a wife or something of that sort. So that's where the renegotiation process always keeps taking place. So you you got to find out, all right, what you will not compromise on and what you can compromise on, and vice versa. So then most women, that's why at the beginning they act a certain way, and then hoping as the relationship progresses, and they can actually they can get to renegotiate the unspoken contract and to get more out of the relationship. So this is the tug of war that usually tends to occur in a relationship. And it is the guy's job to also make sure that, hey, what I'm willing to give you, this is what I will not give you. But since you want this, now this is what I expect out of you. You want this side of me, right? You want to be in that extra layer of me, right? All right, good. Now this is what that is expected of you. And most guys don't know how to do that. Most guys don't know how to demand anything out of a woman. They expect it to be done automatically as if she can read your mind. Just like a lot of time women do the same thing. They expect the guys to give her what she wants, thinking that, oh, he should be able to read my mind. It doesn't work that way. So now, how do people in general in a relationship put themselves in a favorable position to which they can renegotiate more in their favor. That has to do with what level of dependency you get your partner to get upon you. So if my wife create a level of dependency, right? So I depend on her on a certain aspect of things, and she does a great job to make sure that no one else can able to provide or do the type of shit that she does. So in that way, she builds assets or she builds value within herself. So then, even if I ever thought about like, I think it's time for me to replace my wife, and then you're looking at me like, yo, is there anybody that can actually do what she does? Not really. No. So then, as one thing diminish, and then you establish another sets of value that makes you irreplaceable. Same thing with the men. When you find a certain way that you can actually have your woman to depend on you, then therefore she might look at a guy and be like, this guy's attractive, or or whatever the case may be. But she knows that she will be a fool to leave what she has right now that is immense amount of value to get with something that is unattainable, to get with something that is unsure. Insecurity is one of the main reasons why insecurities is one of the main reasons why, like, people in a relationship, they, fall apart or crumble, whatever the case may be, right? It's like a balance of having security as well as um the ability to shake the ground, to kind of rattle the pond or something like that. Because, but anyway, I'm going too far. This My point is this. Um, oh, now let's get back to. Hold on. All right, now let's get back to sometimes the downfall of these type of bachelors, right? So as they get older, even though they might still have the same mental effect or the mental energy they can bring around women, right? But they still yearn for companionship. They still, at some time they don't want to have to still be going to the club. They still want to just come home, have a nice woman they could deal with, let their hair out, all that stress and all this other bullshit, right? But as they get older, and then if they're about something, one of the things that makes them valuable is their ability to they build value upon themselves. They also build assets. So then the more money they have, then the less likely they're able to trust any woman that comes across because they were not there during their rise. These women are not coming across when they already have shit, when they already have, like, let's say, a couple of houses, um, cars, or things that makes them even more appealing for a long-term relationship. And the more they have these assets, then the more the less trust, the less trusting that they are of women, because they're like, okay, well, you here for me, or are you here because of what I can do, right? So then also a lot of these guys, they do a lot of them have what I call a what if chick. A what if chick, that's a girl that even though they had a great rapport or even a great relationship with, but the relationship fall apart. Either he wasn't ready, he did not want to have a family at the time, or he still have a lot of playing to do. So then therefore that relationship fall apart. However, now every time he come across a new woman, when he feels like, okay, I'm on my 30s right now, I'm about to be on my 40s, I think it's time for me to settle down. But yet they still try to reconnect or rekindle that magic that they want for that girl, the what if girl. And that's when they tend to put a lot of pressure on any type of woman that they meet to kind of replace that chick. Same way that a lot of these broads, they put a lot of pressure on these guys to try to replace the one that got away. So this is why I think even though you as men, you still need to constantly try to build yourself, try to build value within you. Yeah, at the same time, when you find a girl that you really like, right, or she likes you back, it's okay to take a chance because it's better for shit to fall apart when you don't have nothing versus things falling apart when you have a lot more to lose. When you're broke and she's with you, and that struggle of whatever the case may be, and then like you built a bond, you were able to go through all the bullshit, all the fight, all the f you this, f you that, a bitch I will kill you. When you go through all that shit and then you made it to the other side, then yeah, that's a that yeah that's a ride of that chick right there. But when you already got all that money, right, or wealth, whatever the case may be, and then now you try to be like, well, you know what? I think it's the best. But you are so guarded, you can never really be yourself around her, and you still have to maintain the persona of, hey, I don't want you to get too close. I don't want to feel vulnerable, right? And then now, because you cannot be yourself around her, she cannot be herself around you neither. Because it's like, have you ever come across, like, let's say these high class, high end couples, but you feel like they have to walk around like their nose up in the air, and the chick looking at the chick is composing herself like, yeah, I am the wife. So and so, blah blah blah, and then the guy is like, he's still trying to maintain that aura of, yeah, I am the man and I am the man in the relationship, so then therefore I have to always act like it and all that stuff, blah blah blah. But hey, I'm so listen. At the moment right now, right, I'm comfortable enough to I'm be walking around my house and just let out a big old fart. Wham! My girl be looking at me like, jeez, what did you eat? And then we both laugh about it and shit like that. That's it. Like, we're comfortable enough to do that, right? Versus having to maintain that persona, which she never see the weaker side of you or that vulnerable side of you because you don't trust her. And I think that's where a lot of people they go through relationship with that barrier of never able to let that person too close. Like I said, with that painting I was talking about, once you get closer, you see all the imperfection of the painting, but when you step back, you see how beautiful it is. However, it is the imperfections that make someone perfect. It is the imperfection, the little flaws here and there that make someone unique for you. Because it's not the perfect things about the person that you're gonna miss when they're not there. It's the little imperfections. It's me chewing out loud, or it's some of the goofy shit that my girl does. These little things to others might seem to be imperfect, but to me, that's what makes it perfect. And to a lot of these high end bachelors, once they reach a certain age, then to them, it's kind of too late to start over, and without risking something greater, because you constantly have to get to know someone from scratch. You constantly have to get to know like a new girl. The last one didn't work out. All right, cool. Because I wasn't willing to give up what she was looking for. What about her? All right, I can get all the similarities, but now what about the differences? I'm gonna have to get to know all these differences, and it's like constantly having to start a new video game. The buttons might be similar, but it's a whole different journey. For some guys, hey, it might be fun, but how long can you able to carry out that game? Hey, but anyway, so this was my point. Um, so share, like, comment, and subscribe. This is Arbanaka. Now, if you wanna, oh, by the way, so Wednesday, that's when I am having if that's when I am having a podcast with Miss Courtney, Miss Courtney Omega. So this week I'm gonna have Courtney. Um, what else I'm having? Yeah, Courtney. I'm having a podcast with Sirius, and then as well as Kim. I might do one with Shaolin. I'm gonna talk to him real quick, see what he's doing. But anyway, yep, I'm out of here. Share, like, comment, subscribe.